From 8-second rides to hospital beds, these are the 5 most dangerous bulls in rodeo history. And we're starting with the Michael Jordan of them all: power, muscle, and chivalry. If there's 3 words that could define what a beast this bull was, those would be it. He was calm as a cucumber at the gates, a red alert in the arena.
You want to see explosive?
I nodded. After about the first jump, my face hit the back of his head, and I went flying in there. And the only reason he didn't sling me out of the arena was because my...
And a gentleman when the ride was over.
3 quarters. Here we go. How much does Meyer have left? That bull is absolutely amazing. You know, the thing of it is, we've seen that bull.
A boy raised well. But what made him so dangerous, aside from the cultivated muscle and brass, was that this bull looked before he leapt. He was smart, and by God was he quick. Look at him twist the rider off his back. That's tricky. That's calculated.
Pretty darn impressive for Dustin Elliott. Stepped up and took him, and that's the best ride that I've seen started on.
First, he pops off his front legs, then fires those back legs, throws in a mid-air twist, and then lands perfectly on his front hooves like a 1,700-pound ballerina.
On Bushwhacker in a long time. Look at the amount of height this bull's getting. Unbelievable.
That's Einstein. It's impossible to stay on a bull like that. But as they say, there's no mountain that can't be climbed and no bull that can't be conquered.
The impossible can happen.
After 13 attempts, J.B. Monty did it. 42 straight buck-offs later, he made the impossible possible. Monty broke Bushwhacker's streak, the longest ever in PBR history.
It's over! We have seen history!
It was only fitting that the greatest rider of all time would be the one to best the greatest bull ever born. JB and Bushwhacker in their prime was a match made in bull heaven. You cannot script it better.
13 times I attempted him and never did the same thing twice. Like, he was really, really smart. And he wasn't mean at all. Like, didn't have a mean bone in his body. You roll him in the buck and shoot.
Bushwhacker was a once-in-a-lifetime bull. He transcended the sport of bull riding. But if there ever was a bull who could come close to his might, it was... Little Yellow Jacket was a king on the field, and he lived that way till the end. You don't ride a bull like Little Yellow Jacket, you survive him. He was one hell of a bull. Fans loved Little Yellow Jacket, and Little Yellow Jack loved them back. He threw like a madman and kicked like no one's never seen before. And he was smart as hell to boot. The bull knew exactly what was going on, and this is what made riders piss their pants. He knew his job was to get rid of the rider. And that's exactly what he did. He'd do his job even before the rider got on. First one to ever win 3 straight PBR titles. That thing was straight out of Greek myth, first of his kind. Even the Simpsons wouldn't have been able to predict which way this bull would buck next.
Yellow Jacket is a PRC world champion bull, sired Little Yellow Jacket. Locomotive Red, Moody Blues. Talk about the bloodline. Here's a bucker.
The riders who rode him would say how every time they got on, he felt like a different bull each time.
John Willingham on the bucking bull of the year. That is Little Yellow Jacket.
Everybody feared him, but they couldn't resist him. A monster on the field. He was legendary and he knew it. He was famous for his victory laps after making riders bite the curb.
You guys called it. Tough break to Cody Custer, though.
And, just a great bull.
If Bushwhacker was the Michael Jordan of bull riding, then Little Yellow Jacket was undoubtedly the Kobe Bryant, a monster from the future. You had to be the right amount of crazy to pull off a ride on him. But for this next one, you'd need a death wish. Coming up is a plastic surgeon's favorite bull. Number 2, Bodacious Big Bad Bodacious, also known as the most dangerous bull in bull riding history. Man, was he a sight to behold.
Don't know.
The stouter.
The whole time he was living the tournament, only 6 riders actually made it past the 8-second mark, one of them being Tough Hedeman. The bull looked like he had steroids in his body and murder on his mind. Tough gave him a go again 2 years later, but as Primus puts it, a little older and wiser Bodacious demolished Tough's face. Think broken orbital socket and busted ribs kind of injuries. And Tough barely came out alive. Do you know who wanted to ride this guy? Insane people. There's a reason even the toughest riders lost sleep over him.
They just literally crushed everything from here to here. You know, I didn't have a nose.
This 4-footed bovine celebrity was infamous for leaving cowboys broken and bruised and calling for their mommy, shattering facial bones with his signature move. He'd launch the riders skyward, then meet them midair with his skull. He had learned to time the riders' movements and used his skull and neck as a weapon.
That's one reason why we wanted to retire him, because we didn't want anybody getting killed on him.
The crazy bastard had a signature power move of his own, like he's some freaking WWE star.
Eyes over his head. He changed guys.
He was known to throw you sky high, then greet you midair with a headbutt that could rearrange your face. At the time, it looked like riders couldn't get enough of him, but I guess everyone reaches their fill at some point. Mr. Bodacious was forced to retire in 1995 for fear of seriously injuring riders.
Is ready to retire. The Great Yellow Bull. Ladies and gentlemen, that bull is going to the pasture to breed.
And trust me, no one was happier to see the guy retire early than the families of those lunatic bull riders. Enough about violence. Let's talk pure talent now. Here's a quick question for you. Have you seen a bull go full vertical? Cuss, this next one does it better than nobody else. Asteroid wasn't the biggest bull on the circuit.
Bucking bull Asteroid, 1,390.
But whoever said size matters, this compact wrecking machine bucked off 66 cowboys out of 71, giving him a buck-off rate of 92.4%. He was not the flashiest, but you bet your ass he was a killer tank on hooves on that dirt. His slim build made him agile and quick. Asteroid couldn't care less who you were. Or why you were on his back. He was there to put the fear of God in you. Most riders didn't last 3 seconds. Some didn't last 2. Asteroid is what happens when 1,000+ pounds of pure muscle decides it doesn't like passengers. And then, he'd go around doing those cute victory laps. This bull was living his best life as every rider's nightmare fuel.
Asteroid just exclaims, "Not on my watch." 3.4 seconds, and he shows once again, JW.
Yup, this bull knew he was the star of the show. He knew exactly who the crowd came to see. He'd circle the arena like he owned it. Head up, chest out, soaking in the spotlight.
Clock doesn't stop. It was around.
And he'd pull tricks that'll have the rider holding his breath. That was JB Monty being flung off a vertical bull. For 7 years, Asteroid's name was on every rider's tongue as the most notoriously tricky bull there is. He was close to becoming the next Bushwhacker.
Bushwhacker is Ray Lewis, and I would say that Asteroid is
71 outs and 5 rides. That's barely any ratio. This was the final record before Asteroid left for good. He was a good lad, but just had that excited blood in him. Speaking of excited blood, next is a bull so huge and deadly, it's a miracle anyone rode him. Weighing in on an astounding 2,000 pounds, Dillinger was one mean bull. When it came to bucking bulls in the late 90s and early 2000s, Dillinger was the final boss of toughness.
Oh, baby! The Tater Porter was around the corner. Did you see this bull?
Massive, explosive, and built like a freight train with springs, he moved like something half his size and twice as angry. He was a 2,000-pound bull walking around like a floater.
Not ever betting against Troy Dunn. Going to the left. He got rolled to the right. He's going to the left. Troy Dunn got around
You know how they say it, if Dillinger had another horn, he'd be unrideable. Only the absolute best could hang on for 8 seconds. Everyone else got a front row seat to the dirt. This first ever back-to-back world champion was a bull you could recognize anywhere. There was none like him. And if it wasn't for his leg injury, he'd get that hat-trick on the world champion title, no doubt.
Any time in there.
This is an unridden bull. Let's see. Looks right, back around the left. This kid's in trouble. That's a hard bull to ride right there. All right, here we go.
He had the highest score ever at 96.5 with Chris Shivers. If that ain't talent, then I don't know what is.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. You did it.
He sure caused some truly horrific scenes.
Cattle company and jumping and kicking. Look out right here. Whoa, man, slam dunking. Oh, good gosh. Holy moly.
He was kind of a troublemaker, and he'd have you chin down on the pavement even before the gates even opened.
And that was intimidating a lot of times.
Oh my goodness, he hit that front gate so hard, looked like right square.
But everyone has their bad habits. Dillinger was not a team player, but he was terrifyingly good at what he did.
Long around to the right, and kind of moving forward. What an outstanding effort. Look at him just holding on to the tail of his road.
I mean, that's cowboy into the night.
They don't come stronger than this and definitely don't buck harder than this. That's what made him so lethal. He was a meat tank posing as a young calf. Small, compact, vigorous with a thirst for victory. Dillinger was as rank as they get. They don't make bulls like this anymore. These top rankers had one thing in common: power, personality, and that thing in their eyes that'd run shivers down your spine. These bulls were something else. No doubt, they made the game what it is today. Which one do you think deserves the title of the most dangerous bull in rodeo history?